Hi, I've decided to read one of my poems out of Poetry's Promise because I believe that things that we write, I wrote this when I must have been let's say about 40 years ago, I wrote this poem, and it was called Black Men Don't Make Us Afraid. Now, sometimes I go through life and I have my challenges in relationships and I can't quite pin them down. And I wonder why I repeat the same patterns in each relationship. And then today, as I was reflecting, I wondered whether or not something that happened in my childhood and in my teenage years and subsequently in my adult years has made me, on a subconscious level, not trust the black man. Now, it's interesting because we have so many scenarios. We have black on black crime, we have racism, and we have all of these things that are happening amongst black people. And then I'm thinking about myself, and even though I'm not aware that I'm doing it, I'm kind of perpetuating that, because in essence, because I have not resolved childhood issues, I have not fully accepted a black man for his full potential. Now, I'm going to read out the poem that personifies that, and it's called Don't Make Us Afraid. I'm going to have to read it from the book because I don't know off by heart, and considering I wrote it so many years ago, it's not surprising, and I haven't had to read it again until now, but today I was inspired to. I was told I should feel contempt for the white man because he held my ancestors in slavery, and because he used to use and abuse the black woman, tormenting her mind and her body. Yet I do not feel contempt for the white man because he's not directly hurt me. I do feel contempt for a black man because under the guise of his love, I have been raped through his feelings of inadequacy, abused by his feelings of insecurity. Physically and mentally, I was in pain under a guise that has no name. Yes, I feel contempt for that black man because he directly hurt me. Some white men are racist. Are we cursed? Some black men are oppressive. Now, which is worse? Black men, learn to love your black women without feeling vulnerable and weak. Love should not be something to be scared of until it forms something you no longer seek. Don't suppress your emotions hoping they'll go away, because only anger and resentment will stand in its place, causing you to use and abuse us when really you're only afraid. Black men, help your black women to support you. Help us to be proud of you. Don't allow us to turn our backs. Don't make us afraid of you. So yes, I did that poem several years ago because of circumstances that happened to me at a young age. And it's quite pertinent because as you grow up and you start learning about yourselves and you start evaluating your behavior and you start doing this mental investigation, you realize that who you purport to be is not who you actually are, and that there's a lot of things that are going on that you have yet to resolve and settle. So sometimes if something is bothering you, just try to go back to the root. Sometimes you could be watching something like I was watching TV this morning, had no recollection of this poem at all. And then something made me think of that poem. It was something in Judge Judy, something she said to one of the victims. And it zoned me right back. And I thought to myself, isn't that interesting that something totally seemingly unrelated on the surface can push me right back and bring back that memory? So that's why sometimes when we don't resolve these things, we reenact them and it comes out in its various forms. And we have to be careful of that. So when you do feel an emotion, don't dismiss it. do like what I did this morning. Think about it, think on it, think how it makes you feel. Because at that point, whatever it was she said made me feel afraid. And then it analysed what situation made me afraid, why I was afraid, and that kind of thing. And then what will happen in the long run is that because you've tracked it down and you've retraced it, it won't haunt you again. And hopefully you can go on to having healthier communication and healthier relationships. I hope you found that helpful. Bye for now.